Hello guys, this is Abi, aka onlyabidoang. Yes, this is me. I'm using Facecam now ever since 2 videos ago. It's a new format that I'm still experimenting. Anyway, let's get to it already. The Sims 4 has been around for almost 11 years now, with countless of packs and updates released. And along the way, as new features kept getting added, many of them eventually got left behind. I'm talking about features that were introduced ever since the game's release, from a base game update or from paid packs, but then left just sitting there, untouched and only to be forgotten. Now, just to be clear, not every feature in The Sims 4 gets abandoned, some features continue to evolve over time. For example, clubs from Get Together expansion pack keep introducing new club activities from newer packs, and even got a decent addition in an update back in February 2025. Fears added to base game in 2022 continue getting new fear types as new packs get released. Sentiments introduced back in 2021 in a free base game update are still being expanded with new types of sentiments every time a pack gets out. And milestones from Growing Together in 2023 also keep integrating newer packs while also having contents from older packs. Those are some great examples of features that keep growing, but sadly, not every feature in The Sims 4 get the same amount of love. Today I'm going to talk about 20 abandoned features in The Sims 4. Before continuing, just a quick reminder that I now have a creator code as part of the EA Creator Network. Feel free to use the code onlyabidoang when buying any Sims 4 packs or The Sims 1 and 2 Legacy Collection on the EA app if you'd like to support me. There's even a summer sale discounts going on right now. Alright, enough blabbering, let's get straight to these features. Achievements have been part of The Sims 4 ever since its release. They're earned by reaching certain threshold like maxing out a skill, reaching the top level of a career, playing for a specific amount of time, and many more. Some achievements are hidden, meaning they won't even appear on the list unless you stumble upon conditions to unlock them. Unlocking achievements grant you these achievement points that serve absolutely no purpose, aside from showing off how many you've collected. At first, some achievements were added along with new packs, but eventually they just stopped adding more. Even when new skills, new careers, and new packs were introduced after Get to Work, many of them never received their own dedicated achievements. In fact, the last time we got a new achievement from a pack was with The Sims 4 Seasons back in 2018. After that, nothing. It's like they just quietly abandoned the whole system entirely. Sim stats have also been here since the game's release. You can access it by clicking this graph icon right here. It basically tracks various stats of an individual sim throughout their entire life, such as how many showers they've taken, how many times they've gone to sleep, how many times they've woohooed, and more. Most of these stats are all base game, but weirdly, the only pack that actually added something to this menu is Vampire's Game Pack. They added this section called Vampiric Accomplishments, which tracks unique stats vampire related, like how many sims they've turned as a vampire or how many vampires they've cured. It's like the devs suddenly had a brief moment where they remembered sims that existed, and after that, they just immediately forgot about it again. Besides that, no other new packs have added any new stats for some reason. Walk style is one of the customizable aspects of a sim that you can choose directly in Create a Sim. When the game was released back in 2014, there were 9 types of walk styles you can pick. Then, in early 2017, the base game update added one more, which is this creepy walk. And since then, nothing. Not a single new walk style has been added to Create a Sim. Sure, newer packs and updates have introduced new walk styles to the game that you can witness in live mode, but all of these are situational. They only appear under specific conditions, for specific sims or NPCs, and you can actually select them in Create a Sim for your regular sims, which is why I consider walk styles in Create a Sim as abandoned. But if you want more options for walk styles right now, I actually made a mod a few years ago called Walk-in Style. Yes, yours truly. This mod lets you choose from a bunch of walk styles that exist in the game but can't normally be selected in regular gameplay, and then assign them to any of your sims.
10?
There's also another mod by Sepzit that adds entirely new custom walk styles you can use for your sims. I'll put the download link for both of these mods in the video's description. Anyone remember ever using the screenshot memory feature? Yeah, me neither. Apparently, this feature has been in the game ever since released. How it works is that whenever you take a screenshot in-game, you can go into the Screenshot Capture Manager, pick one of your screenshots, and turn it into a memory based on whatever emotion your sim was feeling at the time. Then, anytime after that, you can have an active sim reminisce about that emotional memory in the same menu and they will instantly feel the same emotion tied to that memory. And even until now, I don't think this feature was ever updated. Well, aside from them adding the scared memory type when the scared emotion was introduced in 2021. Besides that, I don't think they ever touched this feature. I'm not sure how they can improve this feature either. If anything, this feature needs a complete overhaul to even feel relevant again. PlantSims were also a thing in this game. It was once meant for this limited time event back in 2017 called the PlantSims Challenge, where you need to gather 6 magic beans from PlantSims passerbys. Even after the event is long over, you can still get these magic beans in the base game by obtaining them from opening the rare seed packets. This can be ordered from the computer once you have level 10 gardening skill. Then place all the beans in this special stump, grow it into a tree, get some forbidden fruits from inside the tree, and then eat it to become a plant sim yourself. Sadly, it's only a temporary occult that lasts for 2 days. They gain a couple of abilities. They have the water need, they can absorb sunlight to satisfy their hunger, they can talk to plants, they can absorb energy from them too, and that's pretty much it. It's not a full-blown occult like in The Sims 2 or The Sims 3. Even their appearance is just a regular sim with green skin and this basic looking green hairstyle. Nothing leafy at all, aside from the occasional idle animation where leaves sprout from their arms. There's been no real update to PlantSims ever since it first released years ago. You may think that the upcoming Enchanted by Nature expansion pack will expand on it, but from what we've seen so far, it doesn't look like PlantSims are making a comeback there either. If you really want a proper fix for PlantSims right now, I recommend checking out the expanded PlantSims mod by Spinning Plumbobs. It makes PlantSims permanent and gives them a much needed overhaul. They get new unlockable abilities, new appearances, and even new forms, like this cool fungal form and a Spriggan form. Honestly, it's everything the official version should have been. Still on the topic of limited time events, anyone remember Sim Sessions? It was basically the Sims 4 version of a music festival, and it happened back in July 2021. The event ran for just 8 days and featured seamless performances from real-life artists like Joy Oladekan, Glass Animals, and BB Rexa. During the event, your Sims could travel to the park in Willow Creek every Sunday, where the simified versions of the artists would perform acoustic seamless versions of their songs live on stage. At the time, it felt like the start of something seasonal, like we'd get new Sim Session Festival each year with different artists. But that never happened. After the first one, nothing else came out. What's even stranger is that all the objects and assets from the event, like the stage, lighting, and decorative clutter, are still in the base game, but are hidden in a way that even the Show Hidden Objects cheat cannot uncover them. You can only access them by downloading them from the gallery. Additionally, if you have debug cheats enabled with the help of mods like MC Command Center, you can even shift and left click on the stage to have these singers actually perform on the stage again. In the following years, Sim Sessions did return in some form, but only as YouTube videos on the official Sims channel. Instead of another in-game festival, they made behind-the-scenes videos showing how real-life artists recorded their songs in Simlish. I'm no builder, but even I can tell that curved walls are in a pretty dire state. Curved walls were added to the base game in July 2022, just before the High School Years expansion came out. The update gave us 3 sizes of curved walls to work with, and was unfortunately scattered with bugs and glitches when it first implemented, mostly visual bugs. So why is it considered as abandoned? Well, this feature was implemented just before the High School Years expansion pack came out. At the time, only a limited selection of doors and windows were compatible with curved walls, which you can check by using this filter button in Build By. Now, in 2025, if you filter for all the packs released after High School Years and look for doors that work with curved walls, not a single new door is compatible. Windows are a bit more generous though. There are a handful that work with curved walls from newer packs, but the selection is still not much. And even now, years later, you can still run into some visual bugs. In fact, I found one just recently myself. So yeah, it's a build feature that certainly has some potential, but then got left behind. Scenarios were once a big deal, so big they even have their own dedicated button on the main menu till now. This feature was added to the base game in a 2021 update, and they're basically preset challenge-based situations with specific goals and multiple possible outcomes. You can play a scenario with a brand new household, or even an existing one, as long as it meets the requirements. Some even require you to play with specific pre-made sims. The scenarios themselves vary. Some are easy peasy and feel like a glorified tutorial, Some are simple but may take a while, some are pretty challenging, and a few were actually pretty cool, with their own backstories, unique dialogue, and in-game events. There were even limited time scenarios that only appeared for a short period. For a while, new scenarios were added every few updates, but then it just stopped. The last new one was, I think, around 2023, and it was the Family Fortune if I'm not wrong. After that, no more new ones. Maybe not enough players were using them, or maybe it's because the rewards weren't that exciting. Most just gave satisfaction points or traits from the reward store. If they had added new unique rewards, like exclusive new traits or new objects to unlock, maybe players would have played around with scenarios more often. You would think that in a live simulation game, musical instruments will be a no-brainer as one of the core creative activities, right? And to be fair, The Sims 4 started off strong. We got the guitar, violin, and piano in the base game. Then later, the DJ booth came with Get Together, singing was added in City Living, and the pipe organ showed up in Vampires, though let's be honest, that one's basically just a spookier piano. And if you really want to stretch it, you can even count the music production station from Get Famous. But that's it. The last new instrument was added in 2018. Still no drums, no bass, no electric guitars. They could have even introduced us with something new in the Sims franchise in one of their previous packs, like a saxophone, a flute, a trumpet, a harp, or heck, even a freaking triangle will do. At this point, it feels like they're saving all of it for the rumored band pack. But come on, this game is 11 years old already. Similar to that, let's talk about swimming pools for a second. They've technically been part of The Sims 4 since 2014. Well, not at launch, but they were added in a free update just 2 months later. Now to be fair, swimming pool in general isn't abandoned in a way. We even got curved pools added in an update from July 2024. But that's not what I want to talk about. The problem is how there's not a single new swimming pool activity anymore. The last actual pool related object we got was that inflatable launch chair from Island Living back in 2019. After that, nothing else. Where are the water slides, poolside bars, those wobbly diving boards, or at least some swimming pool games like Marco Polo back in Sims 2? Yeah, we got nothing. I also want to talk a bit about the Simology Panel. It's the menu right here that showcases Sims traits, preferences, and some other core systems from other packs like milestones, reputations, etc. And over time, it's become kind of a cluttered mess. Right now, you can have up to 12 different sections crammed into this one menu. Sure, at least you can collapse each one, but even then, if you switch to another sim and come back, some of them just randomly pop back open. And with the upcoming Enchanted by Nature pack introducing even more systems like ailments and luck, yeah, it's only gonna get messier. Honestly, it could really use a UI overhaul. The Owned Business panel had a similar issue before, but it actually got a nice update in a 2023 patch once more business types were introduced. So it's kinda weird that that panel got a priority and not Simology, which is something that we use way more often. That said, if you want a fix, there's a mod called Better Simology Panel by Simatically that neatly reorganizes the whole thing. It'll be free to download on June 24th. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Pack Refresh was such an amazing concept that came out of nowhere back in 2021. We only ever got one pack refresh, and that was Pade, introduced as a free update. It used to be one of the weakest game packs, but Refresh made it way better. They added the ability to get manicures and pedicures, the ability to run your own yoga or meditation classes, attending your own massage service, face masks with effects, a new trait, and even new aspirations. This update raised Simmers' expectations. Everyone started speculating which pack will get the same treatment. Maybe another game pack like Dine Out, Outdoor Retreat, or maybe even an expansion pack like the very first Get to Work pack. But nope, it's been almost 4 years and we never get another one. To be fair, they never promised more refreshes, but it's still disappointing because that one update showed that they can make old packs feel new again. They just chose not to. And instead of updating old packs, it looks like they'd rather take the same ideas and turn them into new packs. Apartments from City Living, now we have rental lots in For Rent. Retails from Get to Work, basically replaced by the small business system in Business and Hobbies. So yeah, I don't think pack refreshes are coming back anytime soon. I will welcome it with open arms, but I'm not getting my hopes up. Back when $5 kits were first released in 2021, they dropped 3 at once. One focused on Create a Sim, one for Build By, and one that actually introduced new gameplay. That last one was Bust the Dust. Even though it only introduced new vacuum cleaners as the new object, it also includes a whole new dust system for your home that can influence your Sims' everyday life, new aspirations, activities, and many more. It also set up the expectation that future kids might follow the same format, with one create a sim, one build by, and maybe even a gameplay kit every once in a while. But here we are 4 years and over 45 kits later, and Bust the Dust is still the only gameplay focused kit ever released. The rest, all just create a sim and build by. If I had to guess, it's probably because Bust the Dust tinkered around with the core gameplay systems, which make it more prone to bugs. And yeah, the launch was a bit of a mess. With how fragile the game's code is, I suppose they decided that it's easier to not make another gameplay kit instead of trying to make it work. Lifestyles were introduced in the Snowy Escape expansion pack in 2020, and honestly, it was a pretty cool idea. Basically, they act like a semi-permanent traits that your sim can develop naturally through gameplay. If your sim keeps doing something habitually, like exercising, working all the time, or socializing constantly, they'll eventually develop a matching lifestyle. Each one comes with its own perks, drawbacks, and sometimes even new interactions. You can have up to 3 lifestyles at once, and they will slowly fade away if you stop doing them or start doing things that go against them. Sounds like an intriguing personality system, right? Well, the problem is they never got expanded again. No new lifestyles were added after Snowy Escape, and there weren't any lifestyles that have some crossback integrations. And here's a pet peeve that I'm probably the only one complaining about. The frequent travel lifestyle lets you ask locals about their home region, which gives a unique description based on where they live and all the significant places in their area. It was such a great crossback detail, until you realize that only worlds released before Mount Komorebi have proper descriptions. All newer worlds, just a copy-pasted generic line. So yeah, it's a system that had real depth and potential and then got left behind in the end. Neighborhood Action Plans, or NAPs for short, were introduced in Eco Lifestyle back in 2020, and they were meant to be one of the core features of the pack. The idea was that each neighborhood could vote on different community policies that would impact everyone living there. If you followed the active plan, you would gain influence points. If not, you might get fined. At launch, it felt like a system that could evolve over time with new packs. Like, imagine new naps tied to new activities, gameplays, or community trends introduced later in other packs. But yeah, that never happened. Like lifestyles, naps haven't been expanded at all. No new action plans have been added with newer packs. It's just the same old batch from Eco Lifestyle with minimal cross-pack integrations. There's even tons of bugs regarding naps as time goes on, like the mysterious lump of clays and feature cubes appearing on the ground everywhere. It's one of those features that could have added a lot of life to neighborhoods had they maximized its potential. The Social Bunny app came with the High School Years expansion pack. It's supposed to be an in-game social media app where your sim can post about recent events, react to friends' posts, and build relationships. It clearly focuses only on teen experiences like proms, school fights, and orientations. The problem is that it was never expanded again after release. The posts here don't make sense either. Adult sims still post about school cafeterias and pillow fights, which makes no sense. The messages get repetitive really fast. Only a small selection of events can trigger you to create new posts, and it doesn't even change based on your sim's personalities or moods. You would think that it will evolve into this universal social media app in-game as more packs gets introduced, like how milestones and clubs get more additions as new packs gets out. The only use of this is probably as a not-so-fun way to instantly become friends with someone by spamming them friendly text. They could have done so much more with it, with more dynamic post varieties for all ages and packs, but nah, let's talk about pillow fights forever actually. Destination worlds are also another abandoned feature, though this one might actually be for the best. You can only go there by using the Take a Vacation option from your phone, rent a lodging, and stay there until the vacation ends. The last vacation world we got was in 2020, and that was the last real destination world was Selva Dorada back in 2018. Let's just pretend that the Star Wars pack never happened. One of the biggest caveats with destination worlds is that you cannot have permanent residency there, which has been a complaint from plenty of simmers. And that's probably why we haven't seen any new ones. These days, every new world is residential. Even worlds that are seemingly designed for vacations, like Mount Komorebi or Sulani, are residential worlds. Plus, a base game update in 2021 added the ability to take a vacation in any world, as long as it has a rental lot. So in a way, destination worlds are kind of abandoned, but the concept has evolved into something a lot more flexible. Still, it would be really nice if they went back and made places like Granite Falls or Selva Dorada actually livable too. Holiday Traditions was introduced way back in 2018 as part of the season's expansion pack. It's basically a bunch of goals Sims can complete when a holiday is happening, like having a feast, appealing to the gnomes, fasting, lighting candles, and many more. You can add your own holiday with any selections of up to 5 traditions. Sadly, they also seem to forget about this feature as time goes on. Like some of the features I've mentioned here, we don't get any new traditions that have cross-pack integrations with newer packs. For this kind of feature, you may think that they get at least the same amount of attention as clubs or milestones, since Sims 4 Seasons is probably one of the most owned packs by now. But yeah, they left this feature to dust, unfortunately. Still in the same expansion pack, one of the holiday traditions that you can take part in is making a resolution. This is already a part of the pre-made New Year's Eve holiday where you can make some kind of a promise that you have to accomplish for the next 7 days, like losing weight, learning a skill, writing a book, and some others. If you complete it, you'll obtain 100 satisfaction points and probably a feeling of fulfillment. But I also feel that this feature can be expanded even more as more packs get introduced later, like the bucket list feature from Life and Death for example, where it has tons of objectives from other packs. I suppose since this feature is a small part of the already abandoned holiday traditions, they don't even get to the devs' attention. And for the final feature that I consider as abandoned are Secret Worlds. We got 2 of them in the base game, Sylvan Glade and Forgotten Grotto. Then the first game pack, Out the Retreat, gave us the Deep Woods, and the first expansion pack, Get to Work, added Planet Zigzag. At that point, it really felt like this was going to be a tradition where a secret world comes with almost every new pack. But then, there was an absence of these secret worlds 4 years after Get to Work's release. After that, the closest thing we've gotten since is probably the Magic Realm in Realm of Magic game pack, if you ignore the giant glowing portal in the neighborhood, and Mount Komorebi's Peak area in Snowy Escape since you can only access that area on a mountain excursion. But that pack came out like, what, 8 expansion packs ago? And I don't think the lot where you work as the Grim Reaper in Life and Death expansion pack really counts as a secret world either. But yeah, they just haven't been as generous with worlds like they used to anymore. I mean, even the world North Haven from Business and Hobbies expansion pack this year only came with 2 districts and 12 lots. And now let's compare it to Windenburg from Get Together expansion pack, with 27 lots in total, 4 districts and 3 special areas. Yeah, new worlds don't hit the same anymore. The best they can do nowadays are these rabbit hole caves you can find in some of the newer worlds, where you Sims can enter, but you won't actually see what's going on inside. So those are 20 features in Sims 4 that I feel abandoned somehow. The game always does this thing when a new pack or a big update gets released, where it introduces a brand new core feature, but then never really develops it further as more packs and updates gets out. At the end of the day, the actual list of abandoned features in this game is probably way longer than what I've shown here. These are just some of the more noticeable ones that stood out to me. So, what do you think of this list? Do you agree or disagree? And are there any other features that you feel deserve more attention? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you like this new video format, and if you do and want more Sims videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more. See you later!